The velvet smooth sound that is singer-songwriter Robin Thicke's voice has been hypnotizing and swooning listeners since '02. And now the talented Thicke brings us his third album, Something Else, and he joins us today to talk about it. Welcome.
What did you call me? Velvet what? I like that.
The velvet sounds,
velvet
the velvet
sounds.
smooth
yeah.
sounds.
Ooh, I remember that.
It's kind of a good descriptive for you.
It is.
Because you kind of bring a lot together, but certainly you've got that soul. That's kind of the backbone, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, soul music. I grew up in a house where my mom was always playing Luther Vandross, Aretha Franklin, and Stevie Wonder. And then my dad was playing Bruce Springsteen and Bob Dylan on the other side of the house. So I kind of ended up somewhere in between.
It's a good mix, and it's obviously working. Your third album is titled Something Else.
Yes.
Is this a new side of soul for Robin Thicke in the third album?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if it's a new side of soul. I think I never plan what I'm making. I just express myself and hope it connects with people. And then at the end of the process, I look back and see what the connection is. And I just think that I love the imperfection of real live music, you know. And when you know, nowadays people, they use the synthesizers or the drum machines, and it's all perfect, you know. And so I really like when you have the human element in the music, you know.
Your new album, you have said, it was inspired by your wife, actress Paula Patton. Tell us about that.
Oh, well, she inspires everything I do. I mean, but I can't, you know, happiness is a virtue thanks to her.
Right. Talk to us about collaborations, because in '06 you collaborated with Lil Wayne. You're
Yes,
back with him
Lil
for the
Wayne.
a album.
Yes,
With
yes.
Tie Your Hands.
Yes.
Talk to us about that and why that works so successfully for you.
Well, actually, I mean, working with him right now is a good thing for anybody. But for me, I was a huge fan of his years ago, and we just kind of, we were two guys from two different worlds, but that's the great thing about music, is that it brings people together, you know. The song I wrote about a month after Katrina, which was obviously such a terrible tragedy, and him and his family are from New Orleans. So when I played him a little bit of the song that I had, I could see it hit home with him, and he said, you know, I want to put that on my next album. So I held on to the song for 3 years, and at the top of this year he said, you know, hey, send me those tapes, I want to put my parts down now. And it really just ended up being a historical song for me, because I was so torn by that event, you know, sitting at home not being able to do anything to help the people, you know. So and for him being from there, I think it's an opportunity for us to talk about what went down there.
It seems like, and you can tell me this, it seems like in the last 5 or 6 years, collaborating with other artists and coming together even from very different backgrounds is kind of a big deal now. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is that? What is it that's going on now in the industry?
Well, it's the hip-hop music is the new rock and roll, and what happened in the 60s, whether it was the Stones and Zeppelin and the Beatles all staying in the same hotel or jamming with Eric Clapton or whatever it is, that is hip-hop music now. And hip-hop, the reason that you can buy one hip-hop album and get 5, 6 hip-hop artists is because there's a brotherhood, there's a community. And that's what rock and roll used to be, and now the new musical community is hip-hop.
Yeah. Definitely kind of weaving in with everything.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Because it's pop music, soul music, R&B. Now it's even in rock and roll. You know, Limp Bizkit, Jay-Z. Right. Like we're all getting a little closer together with the internet and all these things. And I think music is always a reflection of the society. Yeah.
Well, you're a great example of that. Speaking of blending music, wait for it.
Yes.
Let's talk about tours. Last year, you toured with Beyonce.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her,
yes.
Right? But now we know. Now we've heard the name.
Now we've heard of her, yeah.
And now, if that wasn't good enough, you're on tour with Mary J.
That's right.
How cool is that?
Well, it's you know, I mean, Beyonce's the princess, and Mary J's the queen. You know, yeah. So it's really an honor just to be sitting here on the couch, having those names, you know, being involved with those people in any way.
You're from a creative family. You've kind of grown up in this creative world, and you're here today, but do you sometimes have that moment where you can just stop and sample time, where you can pause and go,
I have to lately.
God,
I actually have to stop. Yeah.
Right?
I actually have to stop, take a few deep breaths, and let the world happen, as opposed to me forcing it to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like anything in life, we get caught up in it. But
exactly.
Let's have fun. Let's do something
please,
fun. Can we do that?
I love fun.
All right. I'm going to throw out a question to you, and just
okay.
give me what first comes to your mind.
Okay.
Fair enough? Don't be nervous.
I don't know. I think you should be nervous.
You know what? You could be onto something.
You don't know what you're up against.
Fair enough. All right, Robin. If we snagged your iPod, what would probably come up as one of the first songs, besides your own?
It would be Broken, number one, because I've dropped it so many times. I actually don't really use the iPod much. because I don't really listen to a lot of music. The funny thing is when you're always creating it, you know, it's like people say, hey, look, we're going to go out for karaoke tonight. I'm like, I've been singing for 10 hours. Like, I want to go to karaoke, you know? So I think it's just when you're making music all the time, you have less time to actually study it. Now, when I was a kid, I studied Beatles albums, Stones albums, Hendrix, all the greats. So nowadays, on my iPod, you would find Curtis Mayfield, Jimi Hendrix, you know, Al Green, the same guys.
Still a throwback to the old
days. And then a little Biggie Smalls, Jay-Z thrown in.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to keep it current.
Yes.
I guess that's kind of the answer, but what music does inspire you today? We know what inspired you to get to where you are.
Yeah. Well, like I said, hip-hop music, because it is it's the most innovative, most original and form of music there is out there. Like it or leave it, it is the most happening thing out there.
Yeah.
And it's urgent. You know, I mean, you can make an album, but if the kids are listening to it and the kids are involved and they're changing their slang and their wardrobe because of a certain type of music, then that's urgency, you know, that's community.
And you want to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Collaborations, we talked about it a bit. Who would you like to collaborate with that you haven't had the opportunity yet?
Oh, man. You know, I mean, there's those dream collaborations of, like, you know, rocking out with Jack White or something, you know, and working with Keisha Cole. I love Keisha Cole as a singer. I've been blessed because I'm a songwriter. Also, I've been very honored to be able to write songs for some of my favorite people in the industry. But I'd like to work with Keisha Cole. I really like her. There's just something really honest about her.
Yeah. Robin Thicke's obsession is?
Obsession?
Yes.
Oh, obsession, I would say. Well, that'd have to be my lady.
Good answer. Good answer. Yeah. And one final one. If you weren't doing what you're doing today, what would you want to do?
If I wasn't doing this, I would be, you know, I'd be trying to pass you my demo right now.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, good things coming for sure.
Yes,
Robin Thicke, the new
you.
album is Something Else.
Thank you.
We're all anxious to see it. It's in stores today. Thanks for being here.
Go get it. You'll love it.
Go get it. You heard it here. You're watching Good Morning America now. There.